even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick Podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick Podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years, Raymond Mark
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here in the Sick Podcast Network. Pierre, McGuire, Jimmy Murphy here. We are live from the Dubliner pub in downtown Boston to Center Plaza. Come on down if you're in the area watching. And we just came from a really cool event, Pierre.
First of all, thank you for picking me up today at the airport.
Oh, no problem.
Secondly, thank to Governor Healy for coming over. Everybody from the Friendship Four. What a presentation and a celebration of hockey and society. And then the third thing I think that's really important is that it's so nice to be in Boston on such a beautiful fall day.
I know.
Amazing day in
We
Boston.
went over 80 degrees here in Boston.
That's
It's some Indian
unbelievable.
summer here going on. But yes, we've got the Friendship 4 crew here. We'll be bringing on some guests that do a wonderful job putting this thing together,
Hey, is
which is
Jacob
now.
Fowler any good in hockey?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Is
I'd say
Jacob
so.
Fowler any good in hockey?
I want to see Jacob Fowler playing in Belfast someday. I don't know how
Yeah,
we'd make
with
that
that
happen with
preseason
an
game, maybe.
NHL
Yeah,
exhibition.
yeah.
Remember, we were trying to get
Yes.
Bill Daly to do that last
Yes,
week, so
yes.
we'll have to work on that. Montreal, Boston, and Belfast. That sounds like a great idea to me.
It's good.
Yeah, I think we're going to
That's
work
a
on
good
that.
original six matchup.
Yep, two rivalries, great Irish backgrounds in both cities.
Yeah.
I think it could work, Mr. Daly, if you're watching.
Oh,
hint, hint.
Don't worry, they're
Hint,
watching.
hint. But here we are. We are at the Dubliner. Great event there. Pierre, the Friendship for men's and women's are coming up. The men's at the end of November and the women's as we go into the new year. It's just great how much this is built. You could see when we went to I went to the reception 2 years ago. You were there last year. I wasn't there. When I was there 2 years ago, there were not that many. There were a good group, but not as many as we saw today. I didn't see news cameras there. It's just amazing how much this is growing right now.
Because it does more than just hockey. It does society.
Yeah.
It does the growth of the game.
Mhm.
And I was really impressed by the applause for the women's tournament
Yes.
starting this year in
Yep.
2026. So I'm really pumped for that. Jimmy, no, it's really good. I think the biggest thing, though, about this is when you get to Belfast, you realize that maybe hockey's not traditionally from there, but man, oh man, it's grown in the community.
Yeah,
It's grown
and
a
they
lot.
know what it is. I mean, I remember when we got to the Harp and you're talking to people that live there, they knew what we were there for. I wasn't expecting that, but as we went around and we got to know a lot of people around the city, you can tell the imprint this has made on that city.
Yeah,
and
no,
that
I think
community.
it's fantastic. I agree. It's fantastic for the sport. It's great to see all the commissioners.
Yes.
You know, Hagwell was there.
Yeah.
Christensen was there.
Yeah, Mr. Metcalf.
Yeah.
Steve Metcalf is
Yeah.
there.
The Commissioner Emeritus.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, and we also saw our good friend Joe Battagna,
Joe
who
Battagna.
helped find this tournament.
So he's like from the same town as you,
Yes, Arlington, Mass.
Yes.
Spy Ponder.
You found out that, well, I don't want to say, I can't say that.
Yeah.
Somebody else lives there.
Yes,
In Arlington, but
yes.
we're not going to say that.
Yeah, no.
We don't want to get in trouble.
Exactly. There's a lot of good people that come from that town and a lot of good hockey people, as we know. But we'll go back to that in a bit. Pierre, you were on the Sick Media Tony Marinaro post-game show last night after the Canadiens took a 2-1 shootout win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. And, of course, as you've been predicting for a while now, Jacob Fowler is the hot topic.
Well, he's a real deal. I mean, he's a really good player. He was a great draft pick by Marty Lapointe and Kent and Jeff and Nicky Bobroff. Montreal Canadiens scouts should be really proud of that.
Yep.
They took the kid out of Youngstown, Ohio. He won a Clark Cup there in the USHL. I think the biggest thing that I've always tried to tell people is what separates him from other guys is his composure.
Mm-hmm.
His composure is phenomenal. We saw that last night, especially in the shootout and a save that he made in overtime in a 2-on-1 situation. So he's a positive for the Canadiens. There's a lot of positives. I thought Sammy Montembeault was really good in goal as well. I thought Oliver Kapanen was really good as well. I thought there was a lot of positive things for the Canadiens. Didn't like the lack of discipline to start the game. Didn't like the effectiveness of the power play. It's first game.
Exactly.
All that stuff's going to get fixed. More, and this is not to knock anybody. Noah Dobson's a really good player.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to be more urgent defensively.
Yeah.
This is what haunted him with the Islanders. Don't let it haunt him with the Canadiens.
Yeah, and again, as we stress, the first preseason game, it's his first time putting on the CH in front of those fans. And I think we can both agree, too, Pierre, that a preseason game in Montreal, the environment is a lot different than most preseason games.
True.
The place is usually almost full, if not full. So, you know, I'd imagine there were some butterflies going on for him, and
Yeah.
He grew up a Habs fan, so it will get better there. But the one thing I want to go back to Fowler, and I saw a lot of people reacting to him and his performance on social media. And the one thing they loved, exactly what you said, everyone was noticing the composure. And, the way he would handle shots, if he would go down, it wasn't like a panic going down to make a save. It was a calculated. He knew when he had to do it, when he didn't. And that was the common theme, was this kid's calm there. And that's huge, especially in that environment.
So when you watch Sergei Murashov, who's a really good goalie,
yes.
by the way, for Pittsburgh, two totally different styles.
Mm-hmm.
One guy is amazingly athletic, unbelievably flexible, really quick, and baits you. He's a silly sider. He catches with his left hand, not his right hand. So he baits you into shooting into his glove hand a lot, and he's really good at that. We're talking about Murashov.
Yeah.
If you watch Fowler, he plays more like Brodeur. If you watch Murashov, he plays more like Hasek, more like Jonathan Quick. So they're aggressive, they're athletic. Marc-Andre Fleury, aggressive, athletic, in your face, flexible.
Right.
So they're different.
But not out of control.
Definitely not out of
that's
control.
the key.
But Fowler is large and in charge.
Yeah.
You just, when you see him, I'm not comparing him to Dryden. I'm not comparing him to Carey Price yet. I'm comparing him to Brodeur.
Yes, and you've done that before
I've
in here.
done it
The more I watch him, the more I see
That's
the
what he is,
characteristics.
and that's why. And the only reason I say that is because I tried to recruit Brodeur when he was 16.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw the same thing from Fowler when he was 16 and 17. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
This guy was cloned, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So the goaltending situation in Montreal is definitely a positive as they head into this season. Pierre, I know also you saw you had a focus on the Pittsburgh side of that. You were doing both points of view because I know you didn't get on last night, but you will be doing the post games with Pittsburgh as well. Obviously, the expectations are much different for Pittsburgh right now. My question to you, when you watched that game last night, what did you think of some of the young kids that they're depending on to lead this rebuild?
Harrison Brunick's the real deal. Like, I don't know what they're going to have a tough decision to make. I know people are going to say, just put him in the NHL. Not that fast.
Why?
Exactly.
Don't rush.
He's not going to be the difference between them making the playoffs and not making the playoffs.
Right.
What about the World Junior? What about letting him go back and dominate, really dominate? He's an amazing skater. His offensive instincts are phenomenal. Really excellent player. Great draft pick by their scouting staff. I thought Tristan Braz was amazing. Really good. Really good. I saw really positive things. Rindell was really good. Like, I saw really positive things from their young guys.
Yeah.
But it's a preseason game. Like, Montreal didn't have Nick Suzuki. They didn't have Caden Gooley. And I know people from the Pittsburgh side, no Sidney Crosby, no Evgeny Malkin, no Brian Russ, no Ricard Raquel. I get it. No Christopher Letang.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
My thing to you, Pierre, you've been in coaching and management. I look at those situations right now. Montreal has been in a rebuild, but clearly they're taking that next step, right? Whereas Pittsburgh, I mean,
they're just starting.
So I'm with you. Why would you rush any of the kids right now, right? Like, if you have some more young seasoned guys that have been in the AHL already and have kind of been working their way towards it, then I can understand giving those kids more of a shot. But, like some of these young kids, if they can go back to juniors and dominate, like you say, that's what I do. And as we mentioned many times on this podcast, too many times we've seen teams ruin kids because they rush them in the NHL. And furthermore, if you know you're probably going to be losing more than you're winning, wouldn't you want to shelter them away from that environment?
I'm going to give you two examples of kids that I saw get destroyed by being rushed. And they both played in the NHL, and they shouldn't be ashamed. It's not their fault.
Right.
Dan Blackburn, a goalie with the New York Rangers, and Manny Malhotra. Those two guys got rushed into bad situations in New York.
Yep.
And they never fulfilled the promise because both of them had amazing promise for their careers.
Yeah.
And the reason why they didn't, I can tell you right now, they were really young kids, 18 years old, playing on terrible teams with the New York Rangers. Mm-hmm. Not a little bit bad, like really bad.
Yeah.
And it destroyed
Were those
them.
the years when like Jagger was there and stuff?
No, it was before that.
Right before that. Okay, because those were some tough years as well. No, I'm with you. And even I think of a guy who I remember you vividly on Melnick in the afternoon, just saying, "What are they doing?" To kid that went to Harvard, Louis.
Louis LeBlanc.
Louis LeBlanc.
I was going to say Louis DeBrusk, but it's Louis LeBlanc.
Yeah. And I remember you cautioned, why are they doing this? Why aren't they rushing this kid? And sure enough, it was too early.
Well, and I don't like to blame legends. Bob Gainey was the general manager of the Montreal Canadiens, and Bob wanted LeBlanc to play major junior hockey, not stay at Harvard.
Mm-hmm.
Big mistake.
Yep.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
Louis LeBlanc was a good player.
Yep.
He was a good player.
Yeah.
Montreal pulled him out because they wanted him to be part of a World Junior team, and he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was. That World Junior team is part of the worst collapse in World Junior history in Buffalo, New York in 2011.
Yep.
But Louis was a good player on that team, but he never materialized into the NHL, or he should have.
Yeah.
And it's because he got pulled out of school.
Yeah. So, just a cautionary tale there. And I think more and more you see more teams learn this as we go on, especially in the salary cap era. I think that's changed things a bit when it comes to that. Would you agree?
Yes. I think so. And now we've got a different thing because we met a lot of college coaches here.
Yes.
Today. And one coach, and I will remain nameless, says to me, what about the major junior stuff? And I started riffing on it, and he riffed with me, and he agreed with me. And he says, where's a fertile territory that I should be looking at? And I told him. And he goes, I agree. And I said, but if you're going to send assistants to this place, they're going to have to know they're going to be away from home for a while.
Yep. Yeah.
And he goes, oh, yeah. I'll make it known to them that that's what they have to do. But I think what you're seeing is players from major junior are going to have a really good opportunity to come back. We talked to Derek. By the way, Derek Damon's interview was so good. He was so good on behalf of Des Moines, but also on behalf of the USHL. And it shows you that players can come from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, the fantasy for a lot of these college coaches, let's go get Gavin McKenna.
Yeah.
Let's go get Porter Martone.
Mm-hmm.
They're dreaming about getting that first-round pick.
Right.
But really what they should be looking at is to get the kid that's going to help them win.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to explain to this coach.
Yeah.
And he listened. He was good. He was very good.
I agree with that. Before we move on from Montreal, Boston to Pierre, I want to say it was great to meet a certain goalie's son that played for the Boston Bruins from Montreal today.
A certain goalie's son.
Mr. Johnston.
Yes. Well, I knew you were going there.
Yeah.
Mr. Johnston is Eddie.
Eddie Johnston.
Yeah.
And his son
phenomenal.
he was with
Son
3
EJ,
Ice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And they're going over to Ireland.
And that's where I was going to go. And I was amazed when he said that. They're going over. They're going to have a World Cup for 3 Ice over in Belfast
That's
next
really
summer.
Cool. But for young people, for women, and for pros.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
It's so great. And I was so happy that they had connected with our friends from Belfast and the Belfast Giants and Odyssey Trust in the city over there. So we're going to have some guests coming on shortly here in about 7 to 10 minutes. We're rolling them in.
You're interrupting their Guinness time.
Yes, they are. That's what I'm letting them have their first Guinness. So just loosen them up a bit before they come on. Pierre, I talked to you about it off air, but I want to tell our listeners too to check out story and interview I did with chairman of True North Entertainment and
Mark Chipman.
Jets governor Mark Chipman, and he was great. And one of the topics, Pierre, that you can check it out. It's up on RG right now. One of the topics that I asked him about was, his approach to being a small market team right now as the salary cap goes up, and communicating to his fans and working with it, that there aren't always going to be times where we can spend the cap. We will still be competitive, but it's not always going to go that way. And he was great. And one of the examples he brought up of a success story like that, now obviously the cap's going to be a lot higher than when they came into the league, but he still marvels at the job that the Nashville Predators did when they came into this league and how successful they were right off the bat. Of course, everybody talks about
There was no
Vegas.
cap when they came in the league.
There was no cap.
No cap.
And they were still able to compete. They did it right, and they built an infrastructure within their community. And I thought it was fascinating that he cited them. Like, a lot of people point to Vegas when we talk about that right now, but he went all the way back to Nashville, and it was really interesting what he was saying about that.
Nashville would be a good one to use if you're a small market team back then. Now Nashville's a little bit bigger. Spent a lot of time there. David Poyle deserves a lot of credit. What David did that was really smart, they hired Barry Trotz because David had him with Washington and with Baltimore, and they hired in Portland where he won Calder Cups.
Oh, the Pirates.
And with the Pirates. And what they did that was really smart, Jimmy, they turned their coaches loose on the drafting of NHL players for the expansion draft. So they spent a year. They spent a full year scouting NHL
Before
players.
they came in.
The coaches did.
Wow.
So they could tell the GM, this is the kind of player that's got character. This is the kind of player that has no character. This is a guy we want. This is a guy we don't want.
Yep.
So, like, that was smart by David. And then one of the smartest things David did is he hired Ray Sherrill.
Yep.
And Ray helped him because he knew small markets, Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
He knew how to negotiate as an agent, so he knew both sides of the ledger. So there's a lot of things Ray knew that maybe David wasn't as comfortable with. And that was they were a dynamic duo. They were really good together.
Yeah, so he was urging his other small market teams to look at them as sort of a prototype right now and go back and research how they did it. And you just explained it perfectly. The other topic we touched on, of course, was Kyle Connor and where he thinks the contract talks are right now. He's going to stay in Winnipeg. Oh, he's going to stay there, and he seemed very confident that something could get done soon. He said, "I really do."
You know what? Look how happy he is.
Yeah.
Watch him when he plays. Every game, that kid is happy.
Yep.
He's a Michigan kid.
And he's part of that nucleus right now that's grown up together.
It's hard not to love playing with Scheifele.
Yep.
If you look at Josh Morris, he's an amazing player. Neil Pionk's a really good player. They got good young players.
Yep.
Cole Perfetti's a good young player. He's 23 years old.
I know.
People don't even know that. Cole Perfetti's been in the league since he's been 19.
Yeah.
He's 23.
It's amazing.
They got a good team. So they got to figure out how are we going to get past the first or second round of the playoffs?
Yes, that's one of the things that came up.
They have to
just the gauntlet that is that Central Division, and then of course the whole West. So, but he seemed very confident that will get done. So that's something to check out. All right, Pierre, I know you got to get out. You got to do your Pittsburgh stuff in about 8 minutes, and then I'm going to bring in some guests. So what I'm thinking right now, if you're okay with it, why don't we take some questions now? Because I know that our listeners and viewers love to ask you these questions. So, Shane, I'm going to tell everybody right now before we do take those questions, go over to Betway right now and bet all the way with Betway. If you sign up for a new account with the QR code right in front of you, or if you go to the website in the details section, create your new account there, and they have a great deal going that even if you lose your first bet, you can get up to $200 credit. You can go over there right now. Make that new account. Terms and conditions apply. You must be 18 plus. Always bet responsibly. And the deal is not available in Ontario. If you want a good soccer bet right now, Liverpool -1.5 against Southampton.
How did you do
I think it just started last night. I took the over, didn't I? I thought I said the over. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I think I told everybody to take the over, and that went far over. What a rushing attack by Detroit. Oh, my gosh. That was a big win for them. All right, let's get to the Q&A right now so we can get Pierre some questions. What do we got? Juice _031017. Does Michael Hage have a chance at winning the Hobey Baker this season?
He does. He definitely does, but, that's going to be hard. Martone's really good at Michigan State. McKenna's really good at Penn State. I'm looking at University of Maine. They've got some players. I'm looking at BU. They've got Cole Hudson might be in the hunt. Minnesota's going to be in the hunt.
Yeah, Minnesota's back this year.
So Minnesota's back. Bob Motzko is also coaching the World Junior, which is in Minnesota.
Perfect.
He's a head coach at Minnesota. So there are going to be a lot of players. But does he have a chance? The answer is yes, he does.
Just one quick follow-up on that, Pierre. Are you – and this is not to take a shot at the voters or anything, but are you worried that maybe the hoopla, so to speak, of the junior players that came in will give them an edge just because of how many people are talking about it?
Yeah, I think so, but that's okay. The Big Ten was down last year. It wasn't a great conference last year. Hockey East was way above.
And now you think that's going to reverse,
It could reverse a little bit this year, but not a ton, a little bit. NCHC is going to be really good. They're going to be good. ECAC is going to be better than they were last year. They were not good last year. ECAC is going to be a lot better this year.
Speaking of,
I know.
Doug Christensen is here. A lot of ECAC people here right now.
Yeah, that's good. So there's, I think Hage has a chance. Michigan will be a lot better this year. As a team, they'll be a lot better.
All right, next question. Renaissance Resistor. Very impressed by Fowler. Could you see him taking Monty's job by the end of the season? It's already starting.
I think, you know what? And that's not a knock on Sam Montembeault, who I respect a lot. And I think he's handled the situation amazingly well. But if Fowler continues to evolve, the biggest key for the Canadiens with a goalie, and they did it with Dryden, they did it with Price, they've done it with other guys, you got to play the guy. So he's probably going to have to go to he doesn't have to clear waivers, go to the American Hockey League, do his chores. I wouldn't play Dobish ahead of him.
Right.
If you got three games in 3.5 days, Fowler gets 2, Dobish gets 1.
Okay.
That's how you kind of have to do it. And I think if you can get Jacob 30 to 35 games and see where he's at, he may take his job.
Well, going back to what we were talking about, not rushing players, right? This is going to build more and more. And we're only after one preseason game. The hype, the media around him, surrounding him, the constant stories, the cries from the fans will probably build more and more.
Well, if the Canes are winning, it won't matter. There'll be no cries.
Right.
It'll be if they're not winning.
That's when that's where I was going to get at.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Gizzard, Lil Gizzard. Did either of you get a good look at Justin Charbonneau during the Blues preseason games? I was feeling impressed given his age. I did not.
So I saw him in the St. Louis, Chicago, Minnesota tournament, the Prospects tournament #1. He was good there. He had the game-winning goal against Minnesota late off a turnover, and I know he had a goal and assist in an NHL exhibition game. He's good. He's an opportunist. There's no question he's an opportunist. Does he have a chance to make their team? Probably not. Mm-hmm. But he should, if he goes back to Blainville, which is the team that owns his rights. He was supposed to go to Boston College, and he's not going there. He should dominate the Quebec League. He should be on the World Junior team. And then I think at the end of the year, he's probably like Jimmy Snuggerud. Mm-hmm. Gets called up and plays for the Blues.
All right. We'll take, what do you think, 2 more, Pierce? Because we got to get you out of here. Yep. Give me another one here. Brandon Parker. Hey, Jimmy and Pierre. Question. Higher ceiling for Hage or Beck?
That's a really good question. Mm-hmm. That's a hard one to answer. Beck's already played pro. Hage hasn't.
Yeah.
Beck's, won a Memorial Cup. Hage hasn't won anything yet in college. Mm-hmm. That's a hard one.
By the way, I saw an interview the other day with Beck, Pierre. Kid is very well spoken for his age. He gets it.
Yeah,
he gets it.
He did some good stuff last night too. Uh-huh. And he scored a goal, obviously, but he did some other stuff. I don't really worry about the goals, I watch other stuff.
More what they do away from.
Right? But he was good. Tough one to answer.
Okay.
I'm not comfortable saying
TBD. We'll say
TBD. Yeah.
All right. Next question. Juice, thoughts on Matthew Schaefer's first per season game the other night?
Everybody's going to focus on it because it's an X moment because he back-checked really well. He's got some growing to do. Mm-hmm. But can he skate? Yeah, the answer is yeah. Celebrate his skating. Celebrate his intensity. I think he's a special player. I thought he was a first pick overall, and he was a first pick overall. I think he's going to be an NHL star.
I do
really
too.
Big-time star, but rushing him in, I don't know.
Well, he didn't play a lot last year. That's what I'm worried about.
He got hurt in the World Junior and I never played. So but he's a special player.
Yeah.
I'm really comfortable saying he's a special player.
I think he's going to be a stud. Just, use patience.
I wouldn't be in a rush.
Yeah. All right. Final question here for Pierre. What do we got? Pearl of Wisdom. What's up, buddy? Is there any way to give McDavid a timeline to sign? Say if he's not signed by the deadline.
Oh, I think it'll be before that.
God help.
No, Pearl is always good too. I love
Pearl. It's a great question, but I hope he's signed by then because that's not going to go well.
If he's not signed, then I think he's not coming back.
Yeah.
So then you move him. I mean, you create an auction.
Yeah.
I think he'll sign. The relationships, think about it. Darnell Nurse, Leon Draisaitl, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Zach Hyman. You can start looking at the relationships. The coach, Coach Simon Jr., the general manager, or the president of hockey operations was his agent.
Jeff Jackson, yeah.
So, I mean, it's hard to say he's leaving, but until he signs, you got to speculate, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know you got to get on Pittsburgh radio right now.
I do.
Pierre is all over the airwaves. We'll talk to you in a bit. Thank you, my friend. All right. There goes Pierre. I would love to get some Friendship 4 guests on right now. Would Mr. John Walsh like to join us here on the eye test? Come on down. John is the CEO of the Belfast City Council and has a lot to do with the growth of the Friendship 4 here on the eye test. Mr. Walsh, nice to see you. Nice to meet you today.
John. Call me John.
Okay, I'll call you John. You can call me Murph or Jimmy. How impressed are you with what you saw today And then looking back to how far this has come, what did that show you today?
Yeah, I thought it was incredible. The enthusiasm, the commitment to 3 years going forward just shows you the strength of this event. It's really now burnt into the calendar of the sporting calendar of the city. And I think, ice hockey has gone from strength to strength. I was one of the, I'm going to say it, I was one of the doubters when it was suggested that ice hockey would come to Belfast and have a sustainable future. And I'm happy to sit here and say to you, Murph, that I was proved totally wrong.
I am too.
I just think it's incredible. And today's event, with the governor there and everybody else that was there who was showing a real commitment to this project with a real sense of mission and a love for the city and the people of Belfast. I think it's incredible. Really incredible.
So for those Pierre and I were trying to convey it there, but you're from the city, you're intertwined with it. We're trying to tell our listeners and viewers how much people are actually interested in it there, and like how much they knew about it when we went there, and we were taken aback. It was amazing. What has it done, not just for the growth of hockey, but for bringing people together in Belfast?
No, I think that's a really, really insightful question. I think that people have been able to identify with it, and they've been able to identify with it through a very pure lens, which means they're not impacted by any sense of prejudice or anything that may have gone in the past. This is purely about the sport, about love of the sport, about that spectacular event that happens, down in the Odyssey, where so many people can get around it, get enthused around it. And there is almost, in some senses, there are aspects of ice hockey that do appeal to an Irish audience. Irish audiences like physical sports. They like sports that are very demanding, whether that's in the range of GAA, rugby, boxing. I mean, those are the sorts of sports that they have always identified with. Ice hockey brings a lot of that, but brings a lot of that together with the levels of agility, speed, athleticism that it's just, you can see the enthusiasm. You can see the number of people who are now adopting it and going to watch the sport that would have been alien to them just a few years ago. It is incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. Now, how many times have you been over here to Boston?
Oh, this is my second visit to Boston.
Okay.
Last year, I came here on a business visit en route to the convention for the COTUS for the FLA, which is coming to Belfast next year.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, so
I might have to come over for that.
The FLA is the biggest festival of Irish culture on the planet, and we are anticipating and expecting over 850,000 people to visit the city in the course of a week. So August the 2nd next year through to August the 9th, be there.
Do you have a music lineup yet that we can check out, or is that not released yet?
We are currently working on our Tier 1 acts for that, but we can, I think we can proudly claim that it will be a really great lineup.
I was actually at 1996 in Randall's Island in New York.
Yeah,
it was an amazing lineup. Yeah, it was amazing. It was a great time. I was so upset when they stopped that because it was a go-to thing.
This is the daddy of the FLAs. This is the biggest festival, one of the biggest festivals on the planet, and Belfast is ready to deliver it, which is great.
When did you say the date was? Sorry,
August next year.
August next year. Okay, I'm coming over. There. But anyhow, what do you think of this city so far?
Oh, I think it's amazing. I always love Boston. There's something very nice about it. There's something really, really cool about the people. You get a sense of, Ireland is such a friendly place, and people are so friendly. They'll come up and talk to you. And Boston is really remarkable.
Oh, yeah.
Because people walk past you in the street and say hello.
Yeah.
And you do stop and think, because there are plenty of other cities you go to where that doesn't happen. So, no, I love it.
Unless you're wearing a Yankees hat, and then things don't go too well.
I had been warned.
Hey, listen.
I did have a colleague who wore a Yankees hat. Didn't go down very well.
Yeah.
I think a local policeman warned him of the dangers of that.
It's a great rivalry. Well, listen, I appreciate it. It's great meeting you. Appreciate you coming down.
Well, I just want to say we're committed to obviously trying to, improve ice provision in the city as well. So, I have talked to our politicians, and, we are looking at the next phase of our leisure development. And I have been given license to explore the potential for ice expansion in the city.
So that will really help the grassroots level there.
That will help it, because I think the sites that we have now, there's only one site other than the Odyssey that's currently available. It's not very accessible for a lot of the young people growing up in the city, in the city core. And, obviously we're trying to diversify the range of sporting activities that we can offer to our communities, and I think ice would be a really positive development within the city.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up too. One of the things I was fascinated most last year when I went over for the first time was how everybody involved with the tournament, whether it's the teams, the players, the coaches, what have you, intertwines with the kids, and they go to the different schools and they talk to them about hockey and everything. And I got to see some of the responses from the kids, and it was amazing. And I thought that was one of the coolest things. We actually had a group, Steve Burke. I don't know if you met him. He brings a group over usually from Boston of all underprivileged kids that play hockey, and they got to go over there and meet kids their age and their peers. That's something that's going to help a lot.
So my youngest daughter, Clodagh, would not have been an ice hockey fan. I brought her to one of the events in the Odyssey, and I can tell you now that if you're over for the Friendship Four, you'll probably see Clodagh there.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. Like to see it. Well, I'm going to hopefully bring my daughter Maddie over one year. I got to just get her away from school for a week, so we'll see if we can make that happen.
That's great, Murph. Well,
all right.
I look forward to seeing you in the city.
And let's bring that. Who's that guy, Robert, over there?
Oh, Robert.
Yeah.
Oh, Robert. Yes, I don't know. Be afraid. Be very, very afraid. It's
Come on over, Robert Fitzpatrick.
It's Robert Fitzpatrick time.
Yes, of Odyssey Trust. I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell the story when Robert comes on here of when I first met him. I got an instant tour of the downtown core of Belfast music.
Oh, very good.
Oh, it was so cool. It was so cool.
Well, what you get in Belfast is authentic. It's real.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Thin Lizzy.
Oh,
we should have brought him into that.
Live and Dangerous saw them on the tour in 1978.
Oh, wow. So he's a fan too. Okay, great. I love it. All right,
Mark.
good to meet you.
Thank you.
Robert Fitzpatrick joining us here from the Odyssey Trust and the Belfast Giants.
Hi, Jimmy. How you
Welcome
doing,
back to Boston, my friend.
Okay.
How's it been so far?
Well, I took my lady wife with me this time.
I was a pleasure to meet her.
And she's
Is it first time for her?
First time she's come over with me to see what it is we do for a living.
Uh-huh.
And so far it's been tremendous. And it was capped off today, Jimmy, in fairness, with a tremendous event. I mean, we had the governor there.
I couldn't believe how many people were there.
2 presidents there. We had 12 teams there. Dakota were there. Wisconsin were there. The vision to have a national tournament with all of the conferences, it's done.
It's amazing. And how about all the news coverage too?
Wow, news coverage, Jimmy. I have to say, I don't think that was a fluke. I think you might have had something to do with that.
No, it's where
that wasn't the fluke. That wasn't the fluke. But in fairness, look, maybe it's development for slow learners. I don't know, but we've been doing this now for so long. And I think the thing that Joe said that really stood by me today when Joe said, by the end of the 28 announcement, 30 teams.
Yeah.
30 teams will have come to Belfast.
So let me rewind all the way back to the beginning when this all came about. And maybe you give a little background as to that, the actual story, how it came about for our listeners and viewers that didn't see us last year when we were in Belfast. But just when the idea got brought to you and then
No. The idea didn't get brought to me.
Okay.
No. I had the idea.
You did, that's right. And
it came the other way only because somebody challenged me.
That's what I was getting, yes.
So somebody, if you remember, Jimmy, and you actually recalled this in our first conversation, I brought the Bruins to Belfast in 2010.
For those that remember, that was the Stanley Cup year.
That was it.
And they have not won a Stanley Cup since. So
Just
maybe
come
it's
to
time for
Belfast,
another
guys.
trip to Belfast.
Just come to Belfast.
Mr. Don Sweeney, Cam Neely.
Anyway, Don and I've talked to Don and Cam a lot over the following years and reminded him every chance I got. But anyway, cut a long story short, Steve had been appointed as the coach of the Giants, and then very quickly became obvious to me that he had more than coaching capacity. And I've been talking to Jim Madigan and Dana Skinner about a game, and I didn't know what college hockey was. No clue. How would I know?
Yeah.
But talked to Steve, and Steve started talking about the Frozen Four and the whiteout and stuff like that. And I said, what is this stuff? He said, well, it's 4 teams come together and play. I said, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
So we went into the Parkman House, and we had the 2 commissioners, half a dozen ADs, and I said, listen, guys, want to do a tour in Belfast, want to do it in November. here's the reasons why I want you to do it. And the two commissioners looking at me, no, but we do our schedule 3 years and this and that. And I said, yeah, well, we're playing it in November. And in November, in fairness to Joe and Steve, he's sitting over there, in fairness to Joe and Steve, in the September, they announced that Northeastern, Jimmy Madigan, UMass Lowell, Dennis Skinner,
Yep.
Colgate, and Sarah Fraser, who was then the AD in Brown,
Yep.
all turned up in Belfast to play the first tournament. And my friend, the
That
rest is
fast.
history.
That fast.
Mhm.
Wow.
The rest is history.
And by the way, for those that don't know, what do you call the trophy for all our Boston listeners?
Bellpot.
Yeah, there you go.
Bellpot.
From the Beanpot influence.
But it's tremendous. Oh, I'll not tell that story. We'll not embarrass them again. But it's tremendous because you're going to get a chance to hear from, an AD who's taking a team this year.
Mhm.
You're going to get a chance to hear from an AD who's taking a women's team.
Yep.
And they're all sitting here and they'll all tell you the same thing. It's, in fairness, Jimmy, you've seen it. It is infectious.
Yeah. It's amazing. Like I was
gets
just
under your
saying,
skin.
I was just saying to John, it's just that the response that when I would, because I figured if I meet people in the bars and they'd say, oh, what are you doing over here? And I'd say, oh, I'm here for the Friendship Four. And I felt like I might have to explain it to people. Not once did I have to. They knew right away what I was talking about.
Oh, that's a hockey.
Yeah. And that's what's struck me is
This is why
it's part of the fabric now of the
This
sports
is why
culture.
it was essential to get John over because John has the wherewithal to get a rink built.
Mhm.
John can.
And this would be right in Belfast? Wow.
Honestly. So John can make a rink happen under public provision.
Mhm.
So the idea of getting John here was for John to say, okay, it's time. It's time to
Yep.
It's time to
Let's
do
take
this.
it to the next level.
Let's take it to the next level. So I suppose, I mean, I've met you and Pierre, Jimmy, your exposure has taken it to another level. I mean, we were in Boston on Saturday and we had a late flight, delay out of Dublin, all the rest. On Sunday morning, I'd gone down to Gloucester to spend some time with Joe Britannia.
Oh, cool.
And I was on Newbury Street on Sunday afternoon. This guy walked up to me and says, "You're the Friendship Four guy." Yeah, my wife was impressed.
That happens when I'm with Pierre a lot, but there you go. You're a celebrity here now.
You're the Friendship Four guy.
It-
So it was funny.
And when you're looking at the way it goes over here with the different age groups, how young do you want to start them over there when you start to break it down into different age groups of kids playing?
Big picture vision.
Mhm.
We've been teaching kids to swim for 50 years. Let's try something else.
Yeah,
Let's teach them how to skate.
yeah,
So for me, it's a cultural shift that's to do with childhood obesity, cultural realignment with sports expectation, social interaction, parties coming together, schools from different parts of the divide coming together in a passion that has no bells or whistles. You just fall and then you get up, and
Yeah.
then you fall and then you get up.
and sooner or later you're
And
not falling
sooner or
much.
later You're not falling. You're
Yeah.
skating. So it's a big picture, but I mean that's going to be Jimmy for people to
Determine on their own. Yeah,
determine on their own. Follow
Yeah.
the road that's been plowed. You can do so much.
Mhm.
You can say so much. You can convince so many people, and people either believe you or don't. And as I said to you earlier in the State House earlier on, the two incredible emotions that I'm left with is that comprehension that I'm sitting in a room today with people who believed,
Mhm.
and then the other comprehension is one of pride. I would never have met you.
No, I
I
know.
would never have met
Yeah,
Pierre.
yeah,
Other than the fact that Sarah said, here's an organ for me to get this product that I'm trying to sell trips to out onto the airways.
yeah.
And now we like the pogues, we like horselips, we're jagging on each other when bands play in Boston and bands play in Belfast.
Yeah.
And that's, for anybody out there that's a slow learner, that's what's called friendship.
Yeah, there
That's
you go.
what we do.
That's it. I love it. Well, it's brilliant. I'm so proud to be part of this, Rob, and I can't wait to get over there.
Looking forward to seeing you,
It's
Jim.
I can't believe it's 2
6
months
weeks.
away. 6
6
weeks.
weeks.
6
Looking-
weeks. I'll be
looking-
back in Belfast. Looking forward to it. We're going to be at the Harp, and of course in Dublin. Are we going to do merchants too? Oh, well, let's do it. I'm psyched. Looking forward to this. We're gonna talk after because I gotta tell you something.
All right.
Actually, I can tell you here because I already said it right in the air. So we had Bill Daly on last
Right.
week. I don't know if you
I
got
heard
to
it.
what? Yeah. Oh,
I heard it.
did you hear me kind of
Yeah,
push?
Yeah, I did.
I think I got in his ear. I
Yeah.
get the bug in his ear. So I'm going to keep doing that for you, Robert,
Well, I think
because
you should. Because
I think they need to make it happen.
well, I mean, at the end of the day,
If they can play in Australia, they can
Well,
play in Belfast.
they've played. The single biggest obstruction to the NHL coming back to play in Belfast is that we don't have enough seats, Jimmy. We just don't have enough seats. You got to remember that the Bruins played in Belfast on the way to play in Prague.
Yeah.
And as far as we sold the dream to them that it was a scrimmage, they didn't really realize that there was going to be 7,500 people watching the scrimmage.
I remember Sean Thornton told me the whole story. Yeah.
And Thorts came out onto the ice for that first day. And I mean, I have never I was lucky in the development days to be in Fenway Park one day when Shaq O'Neal was playing for the Celtics, and the Celtics were doing a pickup game on Fenway, and I was writing my name on the wall behind the Green Monster.
Wow.
So my name's on the wall behind the Green Monster, and there's Shaq O'Neal. So I go over and I said, "This has to be the biggest athlete I've ever met." Until I met Zen O'Shara in skits.
Yeah.
I went, oh well, maybe not.
So try me. I had to cover Char for his whole Bruins career. I'd have to bring a stepladder in. He's great. We're gonna get him on sometime too. Yeah, yeah, and maybe we'll do it while we're in Belfast. We'll try and set that up. So
that would be fantastic, my friend.
All right,
you keep the fifth.
All right, who do we want to bring on next?
We want to bring on.
You choose.
We want to bring on Charlie Dowd to talk about this year.
Charlie Dowd from Sacred Heart, join us right here. Charlie Dowd is a deputy athletics director at Sacred Heart. I had the pleasure of meeting him at a tournament called Connecticut Ice. For our regular listeners and viewers, you'll remember we were there last year. I believe it was in February. CT Ice, was that in February, Charlie, or was that January?
It was January.
Late January.
Yeah, usually what we do, Jim, is the weekend of conference championships of NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Because nothing's happened until Sunday, so we have Friday and Saturday to ourselves.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, Charlie, before we get into the French Four and all that, just a little background on you and how you got to be where you are at Sacred Heart.
So I spent over 20-something years in professional baseball. I was a general manager for many teams. Most notably, I helped found the New Haven Ravens and the Bridgeport Bluefish.
Oh, yeah.
And through that, I ended up running an arena and was Sacred Heart's. Actually, I've been Sacred Heart's landlord twice, once in baseball, once in hockey. Anyway, that's how those relationships brought me to Sacred Heart, and I've been there for 7 years now. And my primary responsibility is to oversee the Martiri family arena as well as the 2 hockey programs, and,
right?
Some other sports.
When you got there, because Sacred Heart is now, people know who they are on the college hockey map now. When you got there, did you ever envision how big it would get? Like, how did it start to take off?
I am a very bad loser. Mm-hmm. My career has featured a lot of broken clipboards and thrown radios. Knowing that the Martiri family arena was going to be part of the future, I kind of tried to instill the mindset that we need to be competing on a national level. Mm-hmm. And certainly it's not just my idea, but I think we've got buy-in from virtually everyone in the organization.
Yeah.
So, actually, I should say, now I'm in hockey, I should say organization.
Yeah, for all our Canadian listeners. And then how about getting involved with the Friendship Four? What does that mean to the program?
I think legitimacy is maybe a little too much, but, this is actually our second go-round. We actually got COVIDed out for the 2020 tournament.
That's right. I remember, yeah.
But I had gotten to know Robert and crew, 18, 19, and I thought that it actually would kind of throw us into the mix because, it was Hockey East, ECAC centric. And, we, at the time, maybe we're punching above our weight. Now hockey is a very democratic sport in terms of college hockey. You look at the other premier sports, football, basketball, 5 teams can win a national championship,
right.
I think that if in hockey, it's much more across the board, and some smaller institutions have won national championships, and we're of the opinion that why not us?
Yeah,
and that's kind of the mindset, and we have the physical plan. I think we have a lot of the personnel in place, so why not us?
And I'd say one of the most beautiful arenas that I've been into. It was fabulous.
We're very proud of it. and it has definitely changed our not our tactics, but it's changed our profile. So that when we're recruiting, young players or portal players, I think you may have been in the conference room. I think I may give you a tour.
Yep.
That's the closing room. You stand over the ice and say, "Hey, do you want to be a Pioneer?" And it's hard to say no.
Yeah. Final question for you. We were just talking off air before, and we both agreed the amount of hockey knowledge in Belfast, is that something that struck you when you first got over there?
Oh, I was shocked. I mean,
right?
Considering
there's
one ice rink.
Yeah, exactly.
I did not know about the Giants before getting involved with the Friendship Four, and then when we went over the first time in 1919, I went to a Giants game, and I'm looking around. I'm like, half these people don't even know what they're watching necessarily, but they're having such a good time, and they do such a great presentation, and the hockey is good.
Yeah.
I think they've run parallel paths between hockey and promotion, and that's the way you have to do it, because what I tell our game day people and the kids I teach, once the puck drops, I'm not in control anymore.
Right.
Which I don't like.
Right.
But
it's part of it.
But I have, we have to entertain whether or not we're winning 5-0 or losing 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys, they take it to an extreme. And again, they've got quality hockey, but they've also gotten people into the hockey atmosphere without them being, knowing that, the Leafs haven't won a cup since 67.
Yeah.
So I hope I don't offend anyone.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, look, it's a quality organization, a quality operation, and we're so proud to be. I believe we're the first Atlantic team to go into the Friendship Four.
You are, and you're the only team bringing a band, from what I hear, right?
I'm told there's some rumblings. RIT may try to match
okay,
us, but, we welcome that.
Well, maybe then we'll have a band off.
Absolutely.
Before one of the podcasts.
They'll be dancing.
Are they like you? They don't like to lose.
They don't like to lose. Yeah. So we're really excited about that. They actually had a competition because our game band's about 75 members. They're bringing the NCAA band, which is 25 members.
Right.
So when school started, they had a competition to come over.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cutthroat.
This is great.
Yeah,
all right, well, I'm looking forward to it. Pleasure to see you again, my friend.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be in touch for sure, because I want to have you down to the podcast.
Oh,
love
there. To. And you guys are always welcome.
Okay,
right?
Sounds good.
Thanks.
All right, there he is joining us here, Charlie Dowd, who is the deputy AD over at Sacred Heart. And here's my good friend Sarah Fraser joining us here from Quinnipiac. I met her last year with the men's team, and now this year, Sarah, the women's team is coming over, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Our women's team is a second timer. We've been there before, and they're excited to come back.
How excited are you just about the fact that not only is hockey growing over there and taking it to another level, but also women's hockey?
Absolutely. First for the women on our team to be able to experience all of the international travel that the
tours that they do.
Exactly. Yeah. I can't wait for them to have that. And, for me as a female athlete and, all the people who support women's sports, it's really great to expose women's hockey to a different audience.
When did you first become aware of the Friendship Four?
I was working at Brown prior to the first event. And Brown was there with Lowell, Northeastern, and I'm blanking on the fourth team. And so I was the administrator for the sport of hockey at that point. And Brendan Whittet said, hey, we have this opportunity to do this thing in Belfast. And I said, you're crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no thing in Belfast. And how are we going to do that? And 9 months later, there we were.
And what was it like? Do you remember your first impression when you got over there and you start to talk to people about it?
I do. I remember every trip, and I've probably been there 9 or 10 times now. But I remember the friendliness of the people. I remember being embraced in terms of, being outsiders, bringing a sport that wasn't common in the area to people who, some of them were Giants fans, but most people I talked to in Belfast, I said, do you go to Giants games? And there's still a lot who haven't come. And yet, despite whatever reason we were there or not, they still have embraced us as visitors to the city. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like I was just saying to all our guests just now into our audience is that when I got there and I'm just, I sit up at the bar for a drink and they say, why are you here? And I said that and their eyes lit up and I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. That's a great event. We love it. And we welcome. And then they just sort of take you under their wing.
And even if you don't have anything in common, the people take you under their wing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an amazing city. And Dublin, of course, was great as well. In terms of Quinnipiac, how are things going down there?
Really well.
How's my friend behind the bench there, Mr. Rand?
Yes, all of your friends behind the bench are, I think, they're pretty excited for the season to start. Our men's team, I think kicked it off with real practice this last week or so, and I watched our women's team in an exhibition game last weekend, and we're actually having a Belfast celebration night at one of our games this weekend. Yeah,
that's cool.
So anybody around in the Connecticut area should think about dropping in if they want to wear some teal. They'd be welcome.
Okay, and in terms of your hockey background, for our listeners who don't know, I know, but I just want you to tell them.
It's ancient history, but
no, it's a proud history.
It is a proud history. I wore Dartmouth green, so I grew up in Upper Michigan, playing boys hockey, and then was lucky enough to play college hockey with women, which is a whole different experience, and it gave me a social, aspect to the sport that I'd never had before. And so I played at Dartmouth, and then a year on the national team, and then hung them up, and have been working in hockey administration in various roles.
And how, in terms of going back to what we said, just being able to spread that sport now in another country, how proud are you to be part of that?
Yeah, it's hard to describe. The first time I was in Belfast was for the inspection trip prior to the tournament with Brown, and it was International Girls Hockey Day. I might be butchering the name, but there was a 24-hour game going on of girls hockey where somewhere in the world somebody was playing a girls hockey game, and they were playing on the ice at the Giants game between periods. And I was incredibly proud to witness that, and then several years later to be back with the women's team on that ice. It's really cool.
I mean, because we've seen the growth here, right? I mean, obviously we have a professional league now. It's taken it to whole new heights. But it's just, to me, it's fascinating to see the rapid ascension it's making in other countries that aren't necessarily hockey hotbeds. That's what I loved about being over there. It was just, you don't think you're going to be able to, like we can here. If I hop up to a bar, I can talk about the Bruins or, who's leading the NHL in scoring and stuff like. But to have conversations like that in Belfast, it's just.
For sure. And hockey at the international level is no longer a two-horse race.
Right.
It's kind of up for grabs this year, and that's makes it much more of a real competitive atmosphere. So.
I'm looking forward to seeing you over there. You'll be at the women's?
I'll be at the women's event.
All right, New Year's Eve. We're going to be spending New Year's Eve together. Sounds good. All right, there's Sarah Free to join us. Let's bring Sarah Stanton on. Because you know what? We're all not here if not for Sarah Stanton of Cara Group Travel. We talk to you about her all the time on the eye test. Well, here she is joining me right now. Sarah, welcome to the eye test.
Thank you very much, Murph.
I'm so happy to have you. Sarah, as I've gotten to know you, I don't know how familiar you are with the Lethal Weapon movie franchise. You remember Mel Gibson?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
And do you remember Joe Pesci's character?
Yes.
You remember his nickname? You remember what he would say? Hey, I'm Leo Getz. Whatever you want, Leo Getz. Yes. You are the real life version of him, because whatever anybody ever needs when it comes to the friendship or any of this, you make it happen. And Pierre and I have this conversation all the time. We're like, do you think this could happen? Well, yeah, of course. We got Sarah. Sarah will make it happen. Talk to us about how you got involved with this and just your amazement at how it got to this point that we saw today when we were in a jam-packed room in the Massachusetts State House with the governor speaking and news cameras everywhere. What has this been like for you to see the growth of this tournament?
It honestly
and your
feels,
involvement.
I feel like it's my child has just had their birthday and they've turned it to double digits. That's what it feels like.
They're 21 now. They can drink.
Oh my God, that's a scary thought. No, it's been such a labor of love, to be honest. And I know with everybody involved. And some of the guys said today at the announcement that, it really is. It's more than a tournament. It is about a cultural experience. And a lot of people hear the name of the tournament and they don't always know that it's so much more than that. People come to Ireland for a week, so they get to experience so much more. But just watching it grow, watching people come, and we always say you don't know till you know, right? Mm-hmm. So when you get there, and I know, Jimmy, you've experienced this, right? We were talking about it, how amazing it's going to be, but we couldn't really put it into words.
You have to feel it.
You have to be there. You have to see it.
Yeah.
And it's across all generations. We have multi-generational families that come. The grandparents are coming.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the parents. You've got aunts and uncles. You've got cousins from different parts of the world show up just to be there to celebrate this amazing tournament.
Now, I know you grew up in Ireland.
I did.
When did you come over to the States and to Boston specifically?
I put my name into a lottery and I got a green card out of it.
Okay.
So I said, well, hell, that means I have to go to America. So that's what I did. So in 1993, I moved to the United States, eventually ended up in Boston and living in Quincy. And I've been in travel for most of my life, but started my own business back in 2012. And then it was in 2015 when they started the first tournament. And people kept saying, oh, you should be involved because it's such a great event. And so from 2016 on, I said, okay, this is it. This is going to be ours. And I mean that from a way of, we want to make sure that we deliver for everyone who travels to Ireland in particular, the best experience.
Yeah.
Not just an experience that you can find online or social media, like the real deal. You
Yes.
know? And I really feel we do that.
And we'll, tell our listeners about some of the tours you guys take the teams on and the families.
Oh my goodness, there's so much. The problem is there's so much to see. That's
Right,
the challenge,
right.
right? But things we do, we visit the Giants Causeway, which is like UNESCO World Heritage Site. We have Thanksgiving dinners in the
Oh my God,
craziest
that was
places.
amazing. Yeah.
We have one at the Titanic. So the Titanic was built in Belfast and has an amazing Titanic experience. So of course we have to take that over for a Thanksgiving dinner. We even send the guys to jail. We go to Crumlin Road Jail and have a Thanksgiving dinner in Crumlin Road Jail. So those kind of things. They also
That sounds a lot better than the last time I was in jail.
Oh, like better food, I can guarantee.
Long
you.
story. Just in terms, and don't forget Game of Thrones.
Oh my God,
we're
the Game of
going to
Thrones.
be there for New Year's Eve
during
the women's tournament.
The women's tournament.
Yep.
We really wanted to highlight the women's tournament. It's fantastic. 4 women's teams. We wanted to showcase that first time ever outside the United States. And again, it is Friendship Series, Friendship 4. So we wanted to bring the people together, the families together. And what better than go to a cool place like the Game of Thrones studio?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be pretty wild. I can't give you all the surprises that are going to happen right now, but Jimmy will be sharing them with you.
Oh,
Trust me.
Firsthand.
After New Year's Eve.
Firsthand. The one thing too, like you were talking about how you make everybody feel so welcome. I just want our listeners to know, and I wasn't expecting this. We get off the plane, we come in on a red eye and I'm groggy, and then there's the Sarah and her crew and her team ready to go, telling us where to go. And it was just right away. We're like, all right, it's on, and that was the great feeling, was that you guys are there to make anyone come in, whether it's the players, the coaches, the ADs, the families, just make them feel at home right away. And they did. And I could tell the time they were having, because they're going to a new place. They've never been there, but right away they felt like they were at home.
Absolutely. I mean, that's really important for us because, event travel can be kind of challenging sometimes. And really, we just want you to pack your bags and show up.
Yeah.
And we got you after that.
Yeah.
And it helps also because the tournament is something that we're very much, we're on the inside. We're part of it. And so everything that we do, we reinvest back into the tournament itself and everything that we deliver. So if you have not been to the Friendship 4 or the Friendship Series, and you've got to go.
And we announced today, how far out are we now? Getting teams? You're booked?
I know that we've just announced the next 3 years.
Jeez.
And I will tell you after today, we already have people booking. People are excited.
Yeah, you were just telling me, North Dakota is already boom.
God. They're excited, ready to go, and we cannot wait to get them on the ground in Ireland and show them the best time.
Well, and for anyone who wants information on the Friendship 4 and also a way to book your travel through Cara Group Travel, you can go to friendship4travel.com. It's brand new. I'm looking at it right now. It's an amazing site. They've got all the years coming up with the teams, the history of the tournament. So go check that out right now. We'll have more. We'll have that on our screen soon, but friendship4travel.com looks great.
Absolutely. And you know what? If you can't find what you're looking for on that, you just give us a call.
Yep. And I can direct you anytime you need. Sarah, thanks for joining us. It's great to have you.
Thank
and
you
I look
so
forward
much.
to it. I can't wait to get over there.
Okay. Back to Ireland soon.
All right. And we right now are in sort of semi-island here in the middle of Boston at the Dubliner pub, which for those that don't know, you can find it on YouTube. And this is quick. We're gonna have to wrap it up here. But back this past St. Patrick's Day, Ed Sheeran, the musician, just showed up here. I don't know. He must have a connection to the owners here or whatever, and did a pop-up acoustic show here at the Dubliner. So this place has got some historical weight here that I'm in right now. If you can't make it over right now to come join us, we'll be here for like another hour. Definitely check it out another time. Obviously, check it out during St. Patrick's Day, the Dubliner 2 Center Plaza in Boston. Thanks to all the Friendship 4 crew, from the Belfast Giants to Sarah and Cara Group Travel, and thanks to all our guests. Thank you to Shane working the boards. up in Montreal. The man does not stop. I don't know when he sleeps. I hope you get some rest, my friend. I know it's getting to get even busier as we go on here. Definitely check out his podcast, Trust the Process, right here on the Sick Media Network. We will be back tomorrow here on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network. Until then, have a great night. And I know it's not hockey, but go Liverpool. We'll see you later.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.